Hello everyone, it's good to see you again, and if you haven't been here before, hey, my name is Gigi. It's nice to meet you, and today I'm doing a little something new and very fun that I'm excited for here on my channel, and that is, as you can tell by the title, makeup and wrestling. This is going to be a new segment here on the GlamByGeGe channel, where I'm going to be recapping, reviewing, and discussing the weekly wrestling show AEW Dynamite that comes out on TNT every Wednesday. So I'm going to try to put these videos out for you guys between Thursday and Friday, Saturday at the latest if something comes up, but I am very excited, and I want to say first that I am inspired by Bailey Sarian. If you don't know who she is, she's a fellow YouTuber, but she doesn't talk about wrestling. She talks about murder, mystery, and makeup. So I decided to put my own little spin to it and talk about my two favorite things, which are wrestling and makeup. So let's just jump right into things. Alright, so the way this is going to work is I'm obviously going to be discussing the show, and I'm not going to be focusing too much on product discussion or technique discussion. I will be flashing from time to time right here in this little area the name or a picture of the product that I'm currently applying on my face or reaching for. So yeah, let's just jump right into things. So tonight on this episode of AEW Dynamite, we had the 30th, oh you can't see it, Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary of being in the wrestling business or working as a professional wrestler, whatever you want to call it, which I thought was so fun and really sweet of them to put that together for him. That is a big deal to be doing something for so long. I mean, he's been wrestling for longer than I've been alive. Like, I just turned 26. So that is insane, and I was really excited to see what they were going to do. Now, I wouldn't say right off the bat that this is like my absolute most favorite episode of AEW Dynamite. No, but it was an alright show. There was a lot of, obviously, little promo packages, or I wouldn't really call it promo packages, but a lot of videos featuring various celebrities, wrestlers, friends and family of Chris, just congratulating him on being in the business 30 years. I would say the most notable celebrities that I personally saw were like Shaquille O'Neal, Slash, Gene Simmons, definitely a lot of 80s rock star, like classic rock people, so that was pretty dope. So that's how the show started. It started out with a lot of members of the Inner Circle, mostly talking about Chris and Jungle Boy, and yeah, just the various wrestlers talking about him. And then we started off the show. The first match of the night was actually Will Hobbs versus Brian Cage for the FTW Championship. Now, for those of you who might just be watching the video because you're like, well bitch, I'm subscribed to you, you haven't posted anything new, so I'm gonna watch this shit and I'm gonna do my makeup with you. Totally cool, I'm fine with it. But the FTW Championship stands for Fuck the World Championship. There is a history to it. I would say go and Google it. I personally had to, because when this championship was around, I was in diapers. So I just discovered that I was filming for quite a while without my camera being on, but that's okay. Things happen for a reason, so maybe it was a good reason. So I noticed that the part I left off was just barely me starting to discuss the opening match of the night, which was between Brian Cage and Will Hobbs. So we had Taz on commentary, which Taz is Brian Cage's manager, and he was along, and he had brought along with him, I should say, Ricky Starks, which is the other member of his team, which he refers to as Team Taz, for those of you who don't know. Brian Cage and Will Hobbs had a pretty cool match. There was a lot of moments where it did actually feel like maybe the title was going to change hands, even though I had a feeling, as we all did, that it wasn't going to happen, of course, because, I mean, if Cage loses the title, then what the fuck else is he gonna do? Just be super buff? He doesn't really have, like, a character or personality trait besides being, like, above badass, they'll kick your ass, and the FTW champion. So he retained, but what I liked during the match, besides, you know, them having, I think, quite good chemistry. They're both pretty big men, but very athletic, was the fact that Taz was really into it. You know, it's really nice when you hear the people on commentary not being bored and really being into the match, because maybe if you're not so hyped for it, they'll kind of get you hyped. So I really like the fact that there was that tension that you could feel from Starks and Taz that, you know, like, our boy might lose. Like, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't happen often where we're feeling insecure about a member of our team. And I also felt that. So when Brian Cage obviously retained the title, afterwards Starks and Taz came to the ring and they were talking to Hobbs and they were like, yo, you gotta join our team or we're gonna kick your ass. So you got one option, basically. So before he even had time to speak, Darby Allin, which has been in a feud with Starks and he has had some beef with Brian Cage, came out and basically kind of stood in between them, a little bit like a threatening situation, and then Taz got pissed and told Darby Allin off and said that he shouldn't mess in Team Taz business or he's gonna regret it. So of course we see now that this feud between them is going to further escalate. Am I excited for it? Yes and no. I mean, it could go one of two ways. I'm not super big on Darby Allin. He's not like my fave boy or anything. So I don't really stand by anybody necessarily in this feud, but hey, you know, it is what it is. So next we saw a pre-shot promo of Lance Archer and Jake the Snake Roberts discussing how Lance Archer is going to kick Jon Moxley's ass for the AEW Championship next week on the October 14th 1 year Dynamite anniversary. Now, I feel like we all know, for those of you who watch the show, how that title match is probably going to go. I don't think we're going to get very surprised by its conclusion, considering how the last couple of Moxley title matches have gone. But I also wouldn't say that I'm not excited for it. They're both cool guys. I mean, Archer has been coming in really strong, but I can't think of a particular match that he was really awesome in. He definitely dominated at the Battle Royal at All Out. Like, he was pretty dope in that. I mean, that's how he got his opportunity. But most of the matches that I could personally think of that I've seen him in recently, like, before that match, were like squash matches. So if anybody has like a really dope Lance Archer match that I should watch or something I should rewatch, drop it in the comments, because your girl can't think of something that he like stunned me in. So there was that, and then there was another package with videos for Chris Jericho's happy 30th anniversary, woohoo! So more celebrities, more people loving on him, you know, stuff that he deserves, the whole point of the show. So next we had the tag team, AEW tag team titles on the line, and it was the tag team champions FTR versus the Hybrid 2, which is the team of Angelico and Jack Evans, I believe. Not too sure. Guys, to be honest, I only watch AEW Dynamite. I don't watch Dark. I just always forget about it. I forget to go on YouTube. Like, if it was on, oh god, Fallout. If it was on the same, like, network, if it was on TNT, like, the day before, I get it. But honestly, I also get why it's not on there, because not everybody wants to sit down and watch 4 hours. There's fucking people like me that just want their weekly 2 hours. They want to get that in and get out. Not necessarily like that, but you know, when you're a grown-ass adult and you got responsibilities, you only got so much time. But these two guys put up a great effort. I really liked their match with FTR. Of course I knew FTR was going to retain. I mean, they've been on a winning streak and they just became champions. If they lost the title, like, that kind of wouldn't make sense now, would it? So that was pretty cool, and honestly, I really like the incorporation of, oh my god, why can't I think of his name? Tully Blanchard. Oh god, I look crazy. But anyway, I really like him as the FTR manager. Like, he's pretty cool. I like that he's a dirty old man who'll get him to like cheat a little bit and game the system. So yeah, it's pretty dope. I really enjoyed the match. Oh, and while the match was going on, the Young Bucks were backstage. You know, they got their new attitude on, and the whole time during the match, JR and everybody on commentary, Excalibur, Tony, Taz. Why do I feel like I'm listing like the girlfriends cast, but it's gonna be the boyfriends, the commentators. I'm fucking stupid. Anyways, they were bringing up the fact that for the last couple of weeks, the Young Bucks, they were kicking around referees and just fucking shit up. Apparently they were getting fined. So the Young Bucks were backstage watching FTR's match, and as soon as the match ended and FTR retained, they kicked the cameraman that was filming them the whole time in the face. And they were making jokes about how they're going to get another fine, but they didn't bring their wallet. It's quite entertaining, and honestly, just like with the incorporation of Tully Blanchard with FTR, the Young Bucks have incorporated some fucking pizzazz to their fucking characters, because honestly, like, I just didn't give a shit about the Young Bucks. Like, yeah, they wrestle good, but I need a little something extra, and I know not everybody feels that way, but that's just me. So I like this new attitude change from the Young Bucks. It makes them quite more entertaining. So I really want to see where this is going to go. Clearly they're trying to approach FTR for a title opportunity, and I'm here for it. So right after we saw that happened, we immediately proceeded to see a picture of FTR in hot dog costumes, obviously photoshopped. They were photoshopped in hot dog costumes with the championship titles on. And next thing you know, you hear the Best Friends theme song, and they come out to get up in FTR's face, because right now they are the #1 ranked tag team in AEW, so they're due for a title shot. And they proceeded to talk about how FTR has been making fun of the fact that they're comedy wrestlers, they're just backyard wrestlers, whatever, even though we all saw that fucking amazing parking lot brawl between them and Santana and Ortiz. Like, that shit was amazing. I think we can all agree that match was dope as fuck. If you haven't seen it, go back 2 weeks on your Hulu and fucking watch that shit. It is awesome. But anyways, yeah, they got up in FTR's face and they called them weenies, and I want that t-shirt of them looking like fucking weenies. But I'm really excited for their title match, and that is also going to be next week on the anniversary edition of Dynamite. So far it's a pretty stacked card. Now, right after all that, I believe we saw like another Jericho tribute a video package. And right after that, we saw the promo and then the start of the dog collar match between Brody Lee and Cody. So this rematch I was really excited for, but I really did not expect it to end the way that it did. Now, when it comes to dog collar matches, I've only seen a handful, and as far as everybody on commentary was concerned, the only other dog collar match that's been widely recognized was the one between Greg the Hammer Valentine and Rowdy Roddy Piper. And Greg the Hammer Valentine was in the audience for the match. And I must say, it was a pretty cool match. I think both Cody and Brody Lee put on a fucking badass match. I really like the way that they incorporated the dog collars. I didn't really have an idea of how that was going to work for them, because with any gimmick or weapons type match, you know, it can either go really good or really bad. So I really enjoyed the way that they used the dog collars as a weapon. I really like that spot they did where they went through the table on the side of the ring. That was really fucking cool. It looked like it hurt the shit out of Cody more than it did Brody Lee, but it was really, really fucking cool. It was an awesome, awesome match, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed that Cody won. I think maybe a lot of us were expecting it. I initially, when the match was announced, was expecting it, but then I'm like, why would they want to ruin like Brody Lee's heat, you know, like I kind of thought that maybe he would have at least another title defense or two before him and Cody would go at it again, and then Cody would obviously retain the title. But again, the match was pretty cool. I just did not expect it to end that way, and I feel like a lot of people from reading online felt the same way. But they fucking did that. Like, oh my god, it was great. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed it, and as far as I'm concerned, that was really the main event of the show. Obviously, Chris Jericho closed. I always do that when I mess up. Obviously, Chris Jericho closed out the show facing the Chaos Project, but we all know that was the real main event, was Brody Lee versus Cody. So, yeah, what did you guys think of that match? Like, were you disappointed? Were you not? Like I said, not my favorite, but not my favorite ending, I should say. But I didn't hate the match. It was really cool. I thought they did a great job. Now, when it comes to like other weapons matches I've seen recently, would I say that it's better than the parking lot brawl between Best Friends and Santana and Ortiz? No, I would not. That wasn't really a singles match, but it's like the last major kind of hardcore, no rules street fight type of match that I can think of most recently. So it definitely was not better than that, but it was still pretty good. I just don't know where they're going to go from here with the TNT title. And I think that's the main point that a lot of people were expressing online. Like, at least with Brody Lee, we were kind of going to build up the Dark Order and him as the Exalted One to appear a little more powerful. So I don't know what's going to go next. Maybe they're going to let Brody Lee challenge Moxley for the AEW Championship. I don't know. Maybe Brody Lee is going to become a tag team champ with, like, Evil Uno or something. I don't know. But something needs to happen. They can't just drop the Dark Order. You know, they built them up as this, like, sort of powerful faction. They can kick everybody's ass, and then... can they really? So after the match, Tony Schiavone went in the ring to interview Cody and ask him how he's feeling right now, and Cody expressed his happiness and how excited he is to be champion again and how long of a road it's been to get here and all that good stuff. And then after that, he said that he wants to celebrate by defending the title on the anniversary show next week. And before he even had a chance to name his opponent, Orange Cassidy comes out and he gives Cody a thumbs up, and Cody gives him a thumbs up back, and there we have it. TNT Championship will be defended next week. Cody versus Cassidy. Am I super excited for this match? Not really, but I know it's not going to be a bad match, obviously. Like, Orange Cassidy has had a lot of really fun matches. Cody always has pretty great matches, so it's just going to be a fun ride. That's all I'm there for. So after that, we then saw the announcement for the AEW World title. There's going to be a tournament, and the final of that tournament, or the finals of that tournament, I should say, final match, whatever the fuck. I keep messing up. We're just gonna leave it in here. It is what it is. The final match of that tournament is going to be at Full Gear, which is going to be the next pay-per-view in November. So as soon as they made that announcement, they cut to Kenny Omega backstage getting interviewed, and he was saying that he'll be the one on top. He really wants the world title, you know, just hyping the whole situation up, and he kept throwing shade at Hangman Adam Page. So there's definitely going to be a feud between them. I mean, they lost the titles and all that shit. Like, that has to get resolved. They can't really just drop that whole situation, and clearly Kenny hasn't dropped it yet, because there was a lot of cowboy in there. Like, he was just getting asked about the tournament as a whole and himself, but he turned it into more about Hangman than he did him. And then after that, we had a match between Big Swole and I don't know her name. I believe it was my my first time seeing this this lovely lady, but let me look up her name real quick. So her name is Serena Deeb. And nothing wrong with the match. It was a good match. Big Swole came out on top, as she should. I think they're definitely going to give her a women's title shot sometime soon, since she's been on such a winning streak. But I have an overall question, and I'm sure I'm not the only one wondering this. What is going on with the women's division? I know there's women's matches on Dark, but again, I don't watch Dark. Not everybody watches Dark. And honestly, sometimes I even forget it exists until somebody mentions that something happened on Dark. And there's just not a lot of ladies representation on the main show. And I don't know how I feel about that right now. AEW as a whole is jam-packed with so many talented and amazing wrestlers, you know, to choose from, whether it's men, women, tag team, competitors, and it's great. You know, we had the Women's Cup tournament, but again, that was mostly on what? Dark. And we had like, what, 2 matches on AEW? For a while, you know, at least Hikaru Shida would come at least once a week to defend the title. You know, we had Thunder Rosa the last couple of weeks come and defend. Did she defend her title? No, she did not defend her title. But, you know, having a lot of really good matches as well with other competitors from the AEW roster. So, you know, there is things going on, but there's so many other women on that roster that are just not getting utilized. We need at least 2 matches, I feel like, from the ladies per AEW episode, or at least 1, you know, like, give us a bone. Give us something, anything. And I feel like a lot of us are starting to get frustrated, especially those of us who really are passionate about women's wrestling. And it's considering we know the power of the women on the roster and how many awesome competitors there are on there, there really should be more focused on exposing them. Like, I don't want Dark to turn into, oh, well, all the women, if you want to see any women's wrestling on AEW, just watch Dark. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that. So, I definitely would like to see more women competing on the main flagship show, as I'm sure a lot of you would as well. And I hope it happens soon, because nothing against Serena, but I've never seen her before. She has no stories, and right now I can't really think of a main storyline or feud in the women's division. Brandy and Anna Jay, like, who gives a shit about that? No offense to either one of them, but like, there's nothing going on. Like, Nyla Rose went out and made this whole huge deal like, oh, Vicky Guerrero is my manager now. If you want to succeed, you gotta have a manager. Nothing's going on with her. Britt Baker, okay, she lost to Big Swole. That feud's over. What the fuck is she doing now? Like, nobody has anything going on in the women's division. Like, Hikaru Shida was lucky that they brought in Thunder Rosa, because she hasn't had a single memorable feud with anyone since she's had the title. Like, her whole situation with Nyla ended, and then, like I said, Nyla got Vicky, and then everybody else just is by the wayside. Don't even got a storyline, don't have anything going for them. I mean, Diamante and Ivelisse, you know, they won the tag team cup tournament, whatever, but it's not like they're doing anything with them, or making it seem like, okay, we might eventually get AEW women's tag team titles or something. Like, just anything, guys. Like, am I the only one who feels this way? It's just, to me, it's very weird, and I feel like it's a waste of everybody in that locker room, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those ladies would really like to get a chance to show their skill and their talent, but nobody's giving them the opportunity. So it's just really disheartening, because I feel like AEW could really do an amazing job, and right now they're kind of not doing shit with the women's division. And I would really like to see that change. Who would I like to see on top of the women's division? I don't know. I think there's a lot of really cool women that need a shot. Like, I really like Chris Statlander, but I believe she got an injury for a while and she still might be on the sidelines recovering. And if she's not, so don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure about the Chris situation, but yeah, like, where is everybody? It's like a ghost town. Sometimes they even forget that they have women on the show. Because then Brandy comes out and I'm like, oh yeah, there's chicks on here. Where are they? Like, everybody wants to see the ladies put on the show. So now it is finally time for the main event. And again, it is Chaos Project versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hagar from the Inner Circle. It was a pretty good match. Pretty short, but it had pretty good pacing. I enjoyed it, and they kept referring to the fact that this is almost kind of a full circle for Chris Jericho, because when he first started out wrestling, him and Luther actually wrestled quite a bit together and did a lot of traveling, and according to hair in my face. According to the commentary team, they hadn't wrestled since then, since Jericho first began his career. So I thought that was really sweet, and it kind of gave the match a little bit more of a backstory and a meaning, because some of us need that. But yeah, I thought it was really cute. I thought it was cute that they mentioned it. I didn't think the match was cute. The match was good, but you don't really use the word cute to describe the match. So yeah, pretty good match. Didn't hate it. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think I'm just delirious. I've been filming this video for quite a while. But anyways, again, an enjoyable main event. And after that was done, then MJF proceeded to come out. And actually, I missed this earlier, but kind of between the Will Hobbs match and the FTR match, MJF came on and he was supposed to be talking about how Chris Jericho inspired him and all this stuff, and he kind of talked about that for like 0.2 seconds before making everything about himself and basically saying he's going to be the next Chris Jericho. So during Chris's speech after the main event match with Chaos Project, MJF proceeded to come out, and he came out with Wardlow, and Wardlow had something, or I should say someone, under this giant red cloth. So they came to the ring. He interrupted Jericho. He was saying how he's so happy for him, yada yada yada, and then proceeded to say that he has a present. And Wardlow kind of fucked up the reveal because we kind of saw that it was a clown underneath that red sheet before MJF did the countdown. So Wardlow removes it. It's a clown, and the clown is holding a present. And the present is a picture of MJF. So afterwards, Chris gets very, very pissed, and he's like, I hate clowns. And he takes the MJF picture and fucks the clown up with it. So that was pretty cute and all. And then him and MJF have a stare down, and I feel like over the last couple of weeks there's definitely going to be something. I don't know if MJF's necessarily going to join the Inner Circle, or the Inner Circle are going to be his allies. I don't know, but there's something going to happen. I don't know if Jericho and MJF are going to go into a feud, but they're trying to do something. So after that, they both had a stare down. They looked like they were about to swing at each other, but they started laughing, and they were talking about, oh, my friend, it's okay, you're joking, love you, you know, that fake mean girl shit. And yeah, that's how the show closed out. If I had to rate it between terrible, meh, average, or totally awesome, I would say it was average. It wasn't a bad show. I don't think there was a single bad match. It's kind of hard to have bad matches on AEW because all the wrestlers on there are wonderful. There's a lot of really awesome wrestling. So even when I don't necessarily feel the storyline, I can definitely appreciate and get into the athleticism of all these performers. And again, definitely my biggest criticism, I would say the last couple weeks overall, would be the lack of female representation on Dynamite. I think we need to change that. At first, Dynamite was doing pretty good about that, but lately, like, ladies, where are they? They're nowhere. We only see, like, Brandy come out, and that's about it. But that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the inaugural episode of Makeup and Wrestling. For now, we're only going to be discussing AEW Dynamite and AEW pay-per-views. So, I don't know. We might eventually expand on that. But for now, I'm just doing this for fun. I don't expect many people to watch it, but to whoever watches this video all the way through, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you subscribe and stay around, whether it's for this or some of my other content. Check that stuff out. And yeah, let me know in the comments, how did you enjoy the latest episode of Dynamite? What are your criticisms? Do you feel like there needs to be more women's representation on the main roster? Because we honestly haven't seen it the last couple of weeks. How do you guys feel about the finish with the Brody Lee and Cody TNT Championship? Again, I kind of wasn't expecting Cody to come out and regain the title. So that was definitely a surprise for me. And also let me know if you have any predictions or if you're excited about any of the matches for the anniversary show. For the anniversary show episode of Dynamite. Personally, I would say I'm most excited about the Jon Moxley and Lance Archer match. I have a pretty good gut feeling about how that's going to end up, and my prediction for that is that Moxley's probably going to retain, but hey, we might get a surprise. You never know. So yeah, comment down below with your thoughts about all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye!